A surprise for some men arriving for Friday prayers in northern Paris. They find their mosque closed and a notice telling them to go to a new prayer venue. The reason: the mosque is so small that worshippers spill out onto neighbouring streets, a practice that is illegal as of Friday.
It's nice to have a new, good place to pray. It's better than having to pray outside where everyone stares at you and is walking past.
Some worshippers decide to defy the new law and pray out of doors as usual. But in general, the new rules have come into effect without incident. The French authorities have given the Muslim community a new place to pray, a converted fire station that can hold a few thousand worshippers. It's part of a deal to get prayers off the streets and into new mosques.
We started overflowing onto the streets 20 years ago. 10 years ago I made a public call. Give me the space and you won't see anyone in the streets. Well, now we have the space, and so you won't see anyone on the street.
But not everyone agrees with him. A scuffle breaks out between worshippers and a few protesters who see the move as part of a campaign against Muslims in France. The ban on praying in the street follows the ban on wearing the full face veil in public. Neither law will affect many Muslims living in France, but both have the same purpose: to appeal to right-wing voters less than a year before presidential elections. This is what Friday prayers used to look like in one neighbourhood of northern Paris. Streets filled with prayer mats and worshippers. The far-right National Front has labelled this the Islamisation of France and has a policy of opposing Muslim practices that impinge on public life, as the party's leader told Al Jazeera in a recent interview.
Je ne veux pas qu'on impose de repas halal dans les écoles laïques françaises.
I don't want halal meals to be imposed in secular French schools, and I don't want French swimming pools to have separate hours for men and women. I don't want to adapt French society and values to comply with religious rules. It's as simple as that.
So this is about much more than praying in the streets. It's about a battle for the identity of France and for the support of right-wing voters. The government is trying to beat the National Front at its own game. Jacky, Rowland, Al Jazeera, Paris.